Welcome to Movie Madness. Welcome to. Oh, I had a stupid name for a segment.
Nope, I'm keeping it in. How's it going, everybody?
I had a really stupid name I was thinking of the other day, and now I can't remember what it is.
I literally hit record as you said, like, movie magic.
It's Movie Magic.
That's actually a theater nearby.
Movie Magic?
Yep.
Nice. Well, that's the low-hanging fruit for a theater owner, isn't it?
Yep. So, as you can tell by the picture, we're going to talk about Endgame. There'll be spoilers.
Obviously.
Well, some people have done the spoiler-free and...
Oh, yeah, I know. This is not that, because we're going to
spoiler-free review. Here's the spoiler-free section. It was good.
Yeah, I love that. They're like... Even YMS was like, I thought it was good. Or I thought it was enjoyable, and then it was like, time for the spoiler part. So...
So, this, if you've lived under a rock for 11 years, I think.
Yep.
I think Iron Man came out in 2008.
Yep.
This is the combination of either this is the 22nd. Yeah, I figured I was going to mess that word up, though.
Yeah, it's the 22nd Marvel movie we've had in this this saga.
But the saga's a lie, because it's the Infinity Saga, and it ended, and Infinity doesn't end, so...
Well, welcome to comics.
So this is the 22nd movie in the same franchise. Or, like, same universe.
Which is fucking bananas, by the way.
And it's 11 years, so we had 2 movies a year, except not, because the first, like... 5 years, there was 1 movie.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was like, Captain Marvel, which directly takes or is involved in this movie, came out like 2 months before it.
Yeah.
I did see that in theater as well.
Oh, okay, I haven't.
It's all the past, so...
Okay.
You didn't miss anything.
Okay, so, I guess we should, have a little moment, like, this other thing I watched did. So, which Marvel movies haven't you seen?
Captain America.
You haven't seen the first Captain America?
No. Captain America 2.
Captain America 3.
Was 3 Civil War?
Yeah, that's Avengers 2.5, baby.
I watched Civil War.
Okay.
I never saw the Hulk one, but I don't think...
The original Hulk?
No, I did.
It's not the same actor. It's Edward Norton.
I did see the original Hulk, but not the 2009 Hulk.
No.
I saw the one with the walking away scene where he keeps turning around.
Oh.
I didn't see Thor. I didn't see Thor 2.
That's okay.
I think that's it.
Honestly, Thor 1 and Thor 2 are kind of forgettable, but...
Because I did see Ragnarok.
There's no such thing as, like, a bad Marvel movie. There's just the not good ones.
Yeah. Was there... Yeah, I think that's it. I think I've seen every other Marvel movie.
I've seen everything except Black Panther and Captain Marvel. And I really have no excuse for not watching Black Panther because it's on Netflix.
You're not missing anything.
Okay, cool.
Wait, hold on. Let me sum it up. Bad Lion King remake. Oh, wait, sorry. Disney's already handling that.
Oh, yeah.
The live-action CG Lion King.
The live-action animated Lion King.
Yeah, so I missed... Once it started going, I actually went through and I watched a lot of them. I saw Ant-Man and Ant-Man 2, like... a week before I saw this.
That's okay. Ant-Man is a cool character, but his movies aren't all that important.
They're actually some of the most important, though.
Well, yeah, because of the role they had in the plot, but...
Other than that, I get that.
Yeah. No, I love Ant-Man. He's great. I love him.
I didn't think I would like it at all. I don't like bugs.
Well, okay, yeah. You see the like goofy old costume, and you're like, how could they possibly make this cool? They made him an asshole. and that's great.
Also, Antonio Banderas,
And his other
Anthony.
one, and
I don't remember what else he had, but he had ant puns, and it was good. I like puns.
Paul Rudd is a really good choice for that guy. That was good casting.
Yes, yes, it was.
Almost, I don't think there's a bad cast in the entire thing. Well, I mean, I don't like War Machine very much, but that's probably just because they've never written War Machine very well.
Wait, what's the one where Vision comes in? I never saw Avengers 2.
Age of Ultron.
Yeah, I never saw Age of Ultron.
Okay, so I watched it after I watched Endgame, like same night, and there's actually some conversations that they directly pulled from for Endgame.
Oh.
Okay, so I guess we'll just start the spoiler talk. So, while I'm on the topic, so that thing where Tony goes, all that stuff you said about if we lose, we lose together.
Yeah.
That was a conversation at Age of Ultron.
I think I saw up to that point. I watched, because I did see a little bit of it. To be honest, Age of Ultron is my least favorite Marvel movie.
It's not bad.
Well, I got so bored watching it, I stopped.
Okay.
At least the beginning sucks.
Yeah.
Because I won't, obviously I can't comment on the full movie, but that was, actually I think Black Panther is the worst one, but I at least finished Black Panther.
Thor 2 is a pretty a clunker.
Well, I didn't see that one.
It had the Ether Stone, which is why it's important, but it's the red one. I don't remember which one the red one is. Mind? No.
I thought you just
said Mind and Soul, Ether, which are both orange.
Well, Soul is later.
Right. Which one's the red one? Reality Stone.
Yes, because Mind is in Vision.
Okay, so my notes I have 2 points of I only have two things with the movie that I didn't like very much. And then I have this whole list of what's going to happen with the original Avengers. So,
okay.
You have
I think I know what that is. Do you want to have a brief synopsis of the movie?
Oh, like the plot?
Yeah.
I was watching this other thing, and this guy made it like ridiculously short. But
oh wait, here we go. If you have a problem with the fact it's 3 hours, you're a pussy. Just go to the bathroom in the movie or pee in the cup. That's why you always get soda.
Yeah. And then if the theater turns into a survival situation, you're golden. So it opens after Infinity War. They find Thanos on a planet somewhere. They go there. Thanos has used the stones to destroy the stones.
Wait. Literally, at the end of Captain Marvel, they find Nick Fury's pager that Captain Marvel made for him.
Right.
And they're trying to send out the signal to get a hold of Captain Marvel. And that takes place right before it.
Okay. So, movie opens with actually, wait. Does it open? No, okay, sorry. It opens with Tony drifting in space and Hawkeye being snapped. Which is, okay, so, like, I also wanted to talk about that. Like, what are the odds that Clint's entire family gets snapped?
Clearly they didn't have plot armor.
Well, okay, so it's half of everybody, right? So what are the odds that all three of them are half of everybody are in that half?
Weren't
Weren't
they all girls?
No, he had a son too, I think.
I couldn't remember.
Oh no, he had 3 kids, so there were 4 of them.
Well.
Yeah. So Clint's family gets snapped, which isn't cool, and then do they go find Thanos after the time skip? They must, right?
No.
No, okay, so Tony's drifting through space at the because of the events of Infinity War, and he has this really like heartfelt scene where he thinks he's gonna die, and then Captain Marvel appears out of the abyss and rescues the ship.
Yeah, she just carries the ship to Earth.
We'll talk about that. I really, really like that Iron Man scene, or the Tony Stark's performance in that scene. RDJ.
Yeah,
But
I like Tony Stark's performance.
but and then he gets yeeted away by Captain Marvel. So then they all get together and they're like, Thanos is on X planet because the stones were used there because we tracked the energy. So they roll up there
I
and
think
they
it
find
was five days later.
5 years.
No,
Wait,
no, it
no,
was
five. Yeah.
it was like
You're
a
right, you're
week
right.
later,
Yeah, you're right.
maybe a month. It was not very long.
Yeah.
And Rocket was like, "Hey, remember that energy signature on Earth? There was another one."
So they get there and Thanos has used the stones to destroy the stones, which is hilarious.
Even
And
though, if I remember correctly, in Marvel continuity, the stones can't destroy the stones.
well, obviously they can't. um, so they're all like, "Well, what do we do now?" And then Thor cuts off his head because Thor promised he'd cut
Yeah,
off his head.
he just cuts off his head and he's like, "I
He
went
just
for
gets
the
mad
head."
and he's like, "Bam!" And then he leaves. And then you get this really neat shot of him walking down the stairs. But so yeah, and then we skip forward 5 years because obviously without without the stones, there's nothing we can do about what happened. Everyone's trying to move on with their shit. The Avengers still kind of exist, and I did like how it's basically a post-apocalyptic world, right? But the world was still like working because half the people were still there.
Yeah,
So everyone was trying to like, and Captain America runs this little support group, and I thought that was really cool too. A really nice touch.
yeah.
But then,
I mean it's one thing when you have someone you're close to die, but how about half the people you're close to are gone?
or half the people you've ever met.
Just poof. Literally poof.
And they have that massive thing. So then some other stuff happens. We learn that the Avengers are still kind of operating, and they've got little holographic kiosks they report in at, and Captain Marvel is part of the Avengers, I guess, or at least she like talks to us. But
Well,
we get that nice little connection to space that it's happened everywhere else too. So that's their excuse for Captain Marvel not being around.
well, Captain Marvel left Earth at the end of
Captain Marvel. So yeah,
Captain Marvel because I'm gonna mess it up, but there's an alien race that was basically being eradicated by her people, by the people who adopted her because she is an Earthling.
right.
But she was adopted by them because she absorbed the Tesseract.
The Tesseract.
Yeah.
Are you sure that's correct?
She absorbed the energy from it, yes.
Okay.
Like, so yeah, because she shot the engine of a ship that was powered by the Tesseract. It exploded, and she absorbed the energy of it. So she didn't technically absorb the Tesseract.
Where did they get the Tesseract? I guess I should watch
Well,
the movie.
Captain Marvel takes place like 30 years before or something.
Right.
So a scientist had it
Right.
who was an alien.
Yeah. So anyway, the Avengers are still kind of operating, and then Ant-Man pops out of the back of his quantum thingy in his van in a storage unit.
Out of his quantum La Cucaracha machine.
I genuinely couldn't remember if he was one of the ones who got dusted, and that's why this was important, or if he just disappeared after turning subquantum.
He never got dusted.
Okay, yeah,
They
that's
never
what I thought.
brought him up. Or I'm sorry, he was under house arrest. That was what they brought up. But I believe
so I assume they just thought he was dusted. They did assume he was dusted because he went missing.
Yeah. But he was inside the quantum realm.
He was in the quantum realm, so he pops out of his quantum thingamajig in the back of his van in a storage unit. And then he rolls up in Avengers HQ like, hey, and they're like, holy shit, he's alive. So
yeah, he popped up and he's like, oh man, I've been gone for 5 minutes. Why the fuck am I in a storage shell? Why is there dust everywhere?
Yeah.
But before he goes to the Avengers, he finds out what Thanos did, and he goes.
Oh yeah, he goes to the memorial, which was really cool too.
And he went to look for his daughter's name,
and he found his own.
And then he goes to his house and sees his daughter is 5 years old.
Alive. And then he rolls up on Avengers HQ and he's like, I got 2 words for you. Time travel.
No,
and Hulk has an
no,
aneurysm on the spot.
it wasn't time travel. It was what they call it. It was
Time
some
heist.
time heist. That's what it
Time
was.
So they asked Tony about it, and Tony's like, no, and then he does it anyway. But
Yeah, he's
so
like,
they
no. Oh, Tony has a family. He actually
can't
has
do
a
it.
kid.
Yeah,
with,
he had a daughter with Pepper. So he kind of moved on from the snap because he didn't lose as much as everyone else did. He still had his rock. He did lose the kid though, and I did notice that when he got off the ship, the first thing he said was he lost the kid instead of asking where Pepper was.
Yes, because he lost Peter.
Yeah. So they go to Tony and ask him about it, and Tony's like, nope, can't do it. So they leave and they go to Hulk, and Hulk's like, I mean, I guess we could try. So they bring Hulk back and they're working on it, and then Tony
But
back
Hulk,
in his house finishes it.
Hulk is Bruce Banner.
He's basically the Gray Hulk, if anyone knows what that means.
And if you don't, it's Bruce Banner looking like the Hulk.
It's kind of a merge of Banner's intelligence and personality with Hulk's strength. So he's not as big and as strong as Hulk, but he has Banner's brain. So it's kind of a meeting of the two best of both worlds, he says.
And he also just hung out in gamma radiation
in a diner
for a long time.
Is that how he did it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he just hung. I think he secluded himself for, it was like 6 months at the minimum. He just hung out in gamma radiation.
That sounds about right.
With, you know, it's actually kind of funny because didn't he become the Hulk from like maybe one day?
Yep.
So he was in it for 6 months ish.
Yep. So because they think Tony said no, they bring Hulk back and they start working on it. But Tony back at his house has been working on it the whole time because Tony just can't let well enough alone. So Tony on his holographic desk in a cabin in the middle of nowhere is just like, I've cracked time travel.
Solved it.
Solved it. And Pepper's like, that's cool. Are you going to go do the thing? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, okay.
No. He's like, no. And she's like, are you sure? No. All right. Go hang out with your friends. Okay.
Which is, and someone else said that's a sign of the maturity of their relationship, which I think is pretty neat. Because they've gotten to a point where Pepper knows that he has to.
Yeah, because he says he's going to throw it in the lake. His research.
Yep.
And she's like, would you be able to sleep at night with that? And she knows what's going to happen. It's going to get fucky again.
Yeah.
But Tony doesn't want to lose his family. But Pepper basically says, how many other people lost theirs?
Yeah.
Would you be able to sleep at night having the answer and doing
there's a lot of really heavy conversations in this movie.
It's also very slow, but slow in the right way.
Yeah, there's plenty of build up for the action part because like a lot of people were expecting like a 3-hour like smorgasbord battle, right?
I think it's besides the Thanos scene.
Yeah, we got like an hour
super
of action,
early.
2 hours of build up.
But besides that initial Thanos scene, there is nothing for physical conflict an hour and a half in the movie.
Yeah.
Because this is not the Infinity War. This is the end game.
Yes. And they actually, like, if you watch Infinity War and then Endgame, they have two very different styles, and that's because the directors did that intentionally. It's not two halves, it's two movies.
So he goes there, he's like, hey, dipshits, I solved it. Yeah, I know,
you've been Scott into a baby, but that's a minor scene.
Yep. There's
pee in my suit, and I can't tell if it was old me or baby me.
They had a lot of good lines in this, and a lot of them went to Ant-Man.
He's good. He's always been like that.
But in Civil War, he said like nothing.
Yeah.
So he didn't like. Well, Civil War came out and then Ant-Man came out, right?
No. Ant-Man came out before Civil War. Spider-Man was the one who debuted in Civil
Okay,
War.
that's right. That's right. Yeah. So they are able to leap into the quantum realm, which allows them to time travel,
Time travel.
so they can have a time heist.
Time heist.
And I'm pretty. Tony's like, the fuck, time heist, but he goes along with it.
So they split up into teams to go back in time and get the stones because time travel doesn't work the way the movies think it does. And Hulk has this really good explanation for it at the time, but I can't remember it. And it's way over my head anyways. So we're not going to talk about it. Is that fair?
So what it is
Uh-huh.
you can leap through time, but the second you've hit a moment in time, you've created another timeline.
Not exactly.
Well, no, but that's how this works. Is you'll create a split.
You can't use the past to change the future because once you go to the past, that becomes your present, and you can't change your future from the.
Yeah,
something like that. It's word games that's over my head, but it was very solid at the time.
Yeah, so I was talking about the later scene with Hulk when he goes
but that's
to
later.
Yeah, because they all break off into teams.
They break up into teams to get the stones. And nobody told Clint and Natasha what they'd have to do to get the Mind Stone.
No, they didn't.
Stone. Nebula someone would have known.
Nebula knows.
Some of them, at least one of them knows.
Nebula.
So
I think she's the only one who knows.
They kept their mouth shut about that, which was interesting. But that scene, that is a really good. Okay, we'll get to that. But so they break up into three teams.
Three teams.
Hulk, Cap. Yeah, it's three, and then they break up into two again when they get there because four of them go to Earth around the time of the
Avengers
at the time of the first Avengers movie, which is cool because you get to see stuff from other perspectives. And that's Tony, Cap, Hulk, and someone else, Ant-Man.
Yeah. They also have a really funny scene where Banner as Hulk is like, oh, I mean, I guess Hulk smash. He like barely hits a truck. He's like, oh, and then he's like shaking his hands. He's like, it's so barbaric.
Well, someone else pointed out that they made that Hulk not as strong as the big Hulk, so which is a nice touch because it's like the cost of having achieved the middle form.
Yeah.
But so they're getting the Tesseract, and I think that's it. They're all just there for the Tesseract.
No, Hulk is going to get the.
Oh, Hulk goes for the Time Stone.
Time Stone.
Because for all they know, Strange is still there.
Well, no, they knew that it was in New York.
They knew it was in New York. They knew where the Sanctum Sanctorum was. They just didn't know when Strange had become the dude. So they thought Strange was still there. So Hulk goes there. He has a really neat conversation with the Ancient One, which is a really good character, honestly.
So that's when they bring up the
alternate realities
shift
thing.
Yeah.
It's not like they don't call it timelines. They very specifically don't call it that. They call it like a dark alternate reality or something.
Yeah, because the Infinity Stones must remain. If they get plucked out, it'll fuck everything up.
Yeah, because you can't change the future, so or something like that. So, and that scene's really neat because like you think they're gonna end up fighting, and then they just talk. So it kind of subverts expectations, and they just talk. So he gets walks in asking for Stephen Strange, and she's like, "You're 5 years too early."
Yep.
Because she's the greatest.
No, because he's the greatest.
Well, he's the greatest, but
he's the greatest protector. So if he said he was doing that, and she's magic, she uses magic voodoo, so she knows he's telling the truth.
Right.
And she's like, "All right, here you go."
Yeah. She's like, "Oh shit! If Strange did it, well, that must be like a purpose." So she gives it to him. So he gets that. Fucking Thor. Thor and Rocket went to Asgard. That's an entirely different.
We forgot to
mention
Fat Thor.
Fat Thor.
Literally the best part of the entire movie is Fat Thor.
Fat Thor.
Just because Thor, because he didn't go for the head, he is the cause of all of this in his mind.
He blames
the
himself.
first time.
Well, you also have to remember that on top of half of his people, theoretically being wiped out by the snap again, Thanos killed half of his people, like at the beginning of Infinity War.
Yeah.
So Thor is not in a good headspace right now.
And he is the most powerful, or at least in his mind, he is the most powerful out of anyone because he's the only god. Everyone else is immortal.
Yeah. So he's just been, for the 5-year time skip, he's just been hanging out, drinking beer, and playing Fortnite.
Yep.
Which is...
a fate worse than death!
Yeah.
But they also have the rock dude from Ragnarok, and he's precious.
He is remarkably well written, considering how little importance he has in the grand scheme of
things. He's just like, oh...
But anyway,
so no, hold on. So the rock guy's playing Fortnite, and he's like, hey Thor, buddy, this guy Ubapona, he keeps being mean to me. So Thor just takes the headset and he's like, I am the god of thunder.
69.
I'll destroy you. And then he hands it back.
I'll fly to your basement, rip your arms off, and feed them to you. And then he hands it back, and he's like, let me know if he does it again.
and then the rock guy's like, oh, it's okay. He's crying to his mom. that like, literally the whole Fat Thor scene is just best
It's
part.
Gold, but they do kind of... I think the Fat Thor jokes kind of wear out their welcome because they just keep making them, but... I do have a little bit more to talk about that, but we're still on the New York route, so we'll get to it.
Fat Thor is earlier.
Well, yeah, but they make some other stuff, so we'll talk about Thor when we get to Thor. But so a New York route, Hulk gets the Time Stone. That goes pretty easy. Cap, Tony, and Ant-Man have this plan to get the Tesseract, and it doesn't work. And Loki runs away with the Tesseract, which is a spin-off TV show, by the way. Don't know if you knew that.
No,
they're gonna do a TV show about that on Disney Plus, which I think is pretty cool because that is a big thing where I was like, oh shit, Loki's back.
But you can't change the timeline.
It's Loki. Who cares? He'll probably like put a double of himself in to die. He's like, oh, just fix the timeline. But so Loki runs away with the Tesseract. So like, shit, where'd the Tesseract go? So they don't have it. So and they don't have enough Pym particles to
That's how they quantum leap.
Yeah, they need Pym particles to shrink to go to the quantum realm to go through time, yada yada. So they don't have enough Pym particles for more than one round trip each. So Tony and Cap come up with this idea to go back to 1970 in this research base where they can get both the Tesseract and more Pym particles. And it works somehow. And there's some really neat conversations in there where there's a thing where Cap looks through the shades at Peggy Carter from Captain America, which you never saw. So that must have been like really weird for you.
Oh, I knew that she was a character.
Okay.
Because of Civil War.
Right. But so he sees her through the thing, and then Tony Stark comes face to face with his dad and has a conversation with him about parenting, which is really good writing.
Oh, they also call Tony's goatee a hippie beard.
Well, they call him a beatnik.
No, but like he's like that guy with the hippie beard.
Yeah.
At one point. I just like that scene.
It's really good. So they just managed to filch Pym particles and the Tesseract just kind of easily, honestly. And you think that's another scene where you think there's going to be a fight, but there's no fight. Oh, we forgot to mention Captain America fist fighting Captain America.
Right? Captain America thinks...
Because they'd already established that Loki likes to disguise himself as Captain America, so Loki has gotten loose, so Captain America walks in on Captain America, and he's like, I found Loki!
And then they get into a fist fight, and he knocks him down, or Future knocks him down, and then he looks back, and he's like, that is America's ass.
That is America's ass.
Because they made a scene where his suit didn't do justice to his ass.
Oh yeah, Tony was like, that suit really did not do justice to your ass, Captain. That's America's ass.
Yeah, he just like looks and he's like, "That's America's
That is
ass."
That is America's ass. Where'd my cat go?
So then and we probably have the timelines on these a little mixed up. We're just going to talk about the
Well, we're doing it route by route, so that's
Yeah.
how the that's the New York route goes. Now, Rocket and Thor went to Asgard, which also went pretty well, and Thor had this cathartic moment of talking to his mother, who is in the future deceased.
Yeah, he
And
was
Rocket
supposed to
didn't wanna-
seduce. It was funny. Go seduce your old girlfriend, and then I think Rocket's like,
No.
maybe not with that body.
Well, I liked the way I love Rocket. Rocket is a really good character. I love the way he talks. Bradley Cooper does an amazing job as him. So he's like, I need you to go put the lovin's on her, and I'll stick this in her, and then we'll go.
Yep.
Because they need the reality stone, the ether, which was part of Thor 2. So we walk in the middle of the Thor 2 plot. So, but Fat Thor chickens out, and he runs into his mother, who knows he's there because she's a witch, and she knows he's from the future.
Also, he's fat.
So they have, yeah. She sees he's fat, and he has this really bad beard, and he's like, you're from the future. So they have this really good conversation. Another one of those really heavy conversations.
Basically, it comes down to you can't save me, but you could save everyone else.
Yeah, and while he's doing that, Rocket just kind of does the plan on his own, and
Yeah, he just rushes in, probably sticks her with the needle, sucks it out, and then it's like, okay, time to go, let's go!
Time to go, Thor! So that goes off without a hitch. Well, I guess Rocket would call it a hitch, but Rocket calls him Tubby a bunch, and someone somewhere else said that seemed a little like unnecessary for him to keep doing that. But my counterpoint is that Rocket has lost, his entire team. So everything he tells Thor is basically just get it together. Everybody's lost somebody.
Yeah, and even then, Rocket's always been like a piece of shit. That's his character. Of course he would do that. Like, I love Rocket. He's an awesome character, but he's also kind of a piece of shit, so he would do that to everyone.
Yes, but the guy's point was that it felt a little mean-spirited, but I feel like it's within Rocket's rights to be like, get a hold of yourself. And he also Rocket had that line. I don't remember if it was in the first Guardians or the second one, but everybody's got dead people. So you already know that that's his attitude. So anyway, that route went pretty well. So then we have 4 people going to space. 2 people got to go to a nightmare hell world. So they send War Machine and Nebula.
Yep.
To get the Power Stone, and the way they do. Oh my god, that scene is so incredible. So if you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy, see it. It's the best Marvel movie ever. It's definitely one of the greats. But the opening scene or not the opening scene, but the title scene is Peter Quill doing this whole little dance routine to his music over the through the dungeon.
Yeah, and he's like singing into a rat.
So in the movie, it's really good and really cool. In Endgame, you get to see it without the music.
Yeah, so you just like hear him singing poorly.
Well, they do like half of it with the music, like the old shots, and then you just see like it from another perspective with War Machine and Nebula just kind of peeking over the rock, and he's just dancing with no music.
Yeah, I think he's singing poorly.
So they're getting the Power Stone. Black Widow and Hawkeye are getting the Soul Stone. I don't remember who's getting the Mind. Oh, the Mind Stone's in the Scepter. So they grabbed that while they were in New York too. I forgot.
Yeah, that's right. They had to grab both of them because the Tesseract was in a suitcase and the Mind Stone is in the staff.
The Scepter, which I didn't realize. I never realized.
I knew there was a stone in it. I just didn't remember which stone.
Hold on, I gotta let my cat out because he's a piece of shit.
Also, we brought this up earlier. No one told Hawkeye and Black Widow what they were supposed to do. Just, go get it.
Remember where I called that?
Just, go get it. So that has a really good scene where,
what are we talking about?
We're talking about Hawkeye.
Oh, okay, okay,
So that
yeah.
has a really good scene where Hawkeye and Black Widow are they find out how to get the Soul Stone, even though I think technically they couldn't get it, because aren't you supposed to give up the thing you love the most in the world?
Yes, but they are best friends, and they have been for a very, very long time.
Okay, well, they literally fight each other trying to see who gets
Trying
to
to throw
die.
they and there's that great moment where Hawkeye's like, I think we're talking about different people here, Ned.
Yeah, it's like they're both like, I think we know who needs to go. You're right, we do. And it's like she like just makes a small twitch and he's like, I think we're talking about different people.
And you can like see the nervousness on his face.
So
They've always kind of shafted Hawkeye in these movies, in my opinion. So seeing him get something super cool like this is, it's
so
good.
they fight back and forth, and I don't know if I should say wins, but Black Widow wins, and she
Yeah,
gets to be the one who dies.
she throws herself over the abyss, and so she dies. And Hawkeye gets the mind stone or the soul stone. So we've got the soul power. No, we don't have power yet because we didn't go over that. We have the soul, mind, time, and soul, mind, time. The blue one, the
Tesseract.
reality stone. I don't remember what the blue one is. Space. The
Yeah.
space stone. So the only one we're missing is power. And this is so since there's two nebulas existing in the same time, they're like hard drives mingle. So Thanos learns through the other nebula about the plan and what happens in the future. So
I gotta
that
be honest, I wasn't a big fan of that.
I think it was a perfectly acceptable way to have it be done, but at the same time, I feel like as a robot, Nebula should have been able to identify what was going on a lot earlier.
Well, I mean, she did fall down and like get it like shorted out, but at the same time, I don't know. That I felt was the weakest plot point. And this, remember, this is something that involves time travel, and I still
Yeah.
think that was the weakest plot point.
Well, this is probably the best time travel like thing I've ever seen.
No, Back to the Future is.
I've never seen Back to the Future.
No. Remember they Hulk. This was going way back. They actually talk about time travel,
Oh yeah,
and
and
everyone's sitting there
Ant-Man
like,
and
wait, Back to the Future's a lie?
yes.
Because they just listed off a bunch of movies with that typical time travel logic.
Yeah.
So Nebula, kind of to speed up some of this, because I wasn't a big fan of this, Nebula gets caught because Nebula gets shorted out and can't make a leap back in time. So she gets caught. Thanos interrogates her. Thanos decides to go back in time,
Forward in time.
forward in time, and that's yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. They leap forward.
War Machine did make it back with the Power Stone.
Yeah, he did
Also.
make it back.
So they have all the stones.
So they have all the stones. They Tony makes a gauntlet for him.
Which was cool. I liked
Yeah,
it.
because it does what his suit keeps doing, where it's like it's anyone can wear it type of thing, because like it nano changes, which is cool.
It expands for because well, this is skipping the whole Nebula thing, but the TLDR is Thanos learns of the plan and comes to the future to stop them.
Yeah. Oh, because he like the biggest thing is he sees through Nebula's eyes. I'm inevitable, and Thanos doesn't.
inevitable.
And Thanos doesn't care about dying. He's
Yeah.
never cared about dying so long as he accomplishes his final goal.
So long as he accomplishes his wrong conclusion.
Yeah, because it's clearly not population, it's distribution networks. And because he clears out half the universe, the distribution networks are even more messed up, thus even more people will die.
Yeah. There's a lot of talk about how his plan doesn't really make sense, but my favorite thing is that from his character standpoint, it's his magnum opus, it's his wrong conclusion, and he's sticking with it. And when he sees that doesn't work, he draws an even wronger conclusion.
What if I wiped out everything?
I'll just kill the other half too.
So they bring it back. They have the new gauntlet. And apparently the energy from the
It gives
time
off a lot of
stones
gamma radiation.
is gamma radiation. Like, what? Okay. So Hulk wears it, and Hulk snaps. Literally,
snaps
like, his finger, not... he breaks. Hulk just loses it and he eats them all!
That's correct. I believe they call that the zombie timeline.
Anyway. So he snaps and he brings back everyone who was snapped away by Thanos.
5 years into the future.
Yeah, because you can't change history.
So they just bring back everyone at the current point in time, and Hulk gets.
He can't bring back Natasha.
Right, because Natasha wasn't snapped. Or no, sorry, because Natasha was died for the Soul Stone, so that puts her outside of its reach. Some shit like that.
So then we have Thanos. I'm sorry, they snap and it's like, did it work? Did it work? And then, like, Thanos' ship just appears and, like, nukes them.
Oh, they have this... The scene is amazing, and I actually heard a bunch of people in the theater gasp when it hit, but Scott is standing looking out the sunny window, and he's like, I think we did it, and then you just see him, like...
Yeah, because
it looks like he's evaporated by the initial barrage from Thanos' warship, which has appeared.
Yeah,
somehow
it was weird, because he's like, I think we did it, because there are two birds.
Yeah, so he's like, I think we did it, and they
Holy shit, birds are back!
So, and it really does look like Scott just got killed. So a bunch of people in the theater were like, and then you find out later he shrank through reflex or something, which is probably... They did train his reflexes for that in one of the other movies, so I can see it.
One.
Yeah. So I can see it, but they kind of fake you out with that. But, like, Thanos rolls up in his warship, and he's like, I'm going to take back the Infinity Stones and kill everyone this time. So...
No, he says, I'm going to get the Infinity Stone.
Yeah.
So this is, like... This actually might be 2 hours in the movie. Maybe more.
It's definitely the final act.
Yeah, so this might actually be 2.5 hours in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the climax...
No, I
should
feel
be
like
the most important one.
I feel like there was at least 45 minutes of fighting. So.
Well, it's very late in the movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of build-up.
Oh, also, Gamora follows him back in time.
Well, yeah, because she's, like, pretending to still be on his side, but she recruited,
Future Nebula.
Future Nebula, or past Nebula, and then past Nebula and Gamora freed Future Nebula, so now there's 2 Nebulas.
Yep.
Gamora.
So we like genuinely can't do justice to the fight scene because obviously you'd have to watch it.
Oh, holy shit! So Thanos rolls up with his whole army, and he's got the Chitauri and the Necro Soldiers and all this different shit that we're used to seeing from other movies, and we're like, oh shit, how are these like 6 dudes gonna stand against an army? But then, remember when he snapped everyone back into existence? That includes Doctor Strange. Guess who can make portals?
Okay, so this, I hate to say it, but this is, in my opinion, one of the worst. There are 2 bad scenes in the movie, and they both take place in this fight scene.
Okay.
So, his army is, like, ready to go, and it's like, oh my god! And then you see the portals appear, so you know it worked.
Yeah.
And then Black Panther comes out.
Yeah.
He's the first person out of it.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Black Panther.
Why not?
I want to see Spider-Man.
He's got... Shut up. He's coming.
Well, no. But for real, your big reveal is Black Panther?
I mean, he's pretty powerful, and he's got his whole Wakandan army behind him, so...
Yeah, but they're just Gungans. if you sit down and watch it, they literally look like the Gungans. It's like, scene for scene, I swear to God, it just looks like the Gungans. All their technology is ancient and bubble energy. They are the Gungans.
All right, excellent. That's good.
So
I didn't have a problem with that personally because it didn't. Really
but just
matter.
having them show up, it was like, who cares? to me at least, because it's like, who would be the important characters to see pop out of it? Captain Marvel,
Spider-Man and Doctor Strange.
Captain Marvel, because Captain Marvel is infinitely stronger than anyone else.
That's another thing, but we'll get to that.
Doctor Strange, because I mean, obviously he created the portals. So
hey, wait, didn't Black Panther get snapped?
Yes, he did.
Okay, so yeah, that's why they had him roll up, because he was snapped.
Yeah, but I don't care about him.
I
don't think
that doesn't make it a bad scene.
I don't think anyone was like so blown away by him versus Peter Parker.
Well, that's just because Tom Holland steals the show by being awesome.
Also, to be honest, I would have rather seen the Guardians of the Galaxy come through because they were with
Peter Quill.
Strange.
Let's go. Yeah.
Or Spider-Man literally is top tier for the one coming through. And the reason I complain about that is he just like he just comes in the background. Like,
no, he has this whole thing where he leaps through and it's in the new suit and he's like, I'm Spider-Man.
I could have sworn.
So you're like, yeah.
I think it's after a bunch of people and it's like, what? I mean, are you trying to build up? We already know everyone's back.
Yeah.
There's no build up here. Literally, we're just waiting for them to come through. The only one that would be build up would be the very first person. Because, I mean, not every wizard is gone, so there could be another wizard.
Right.
So it would be the first one who comes through the portal. And we get Black Panther. And I feel like that was done for all the wrong reasons.
There was another moment I feel like was done for the wrong reason.
Oh, okay, you know what? I wouldn't have had as big a problem if it was like just Black Panther, but it's also his generals, and I literally don't even know their names.
Yeah, like, I get that was... People liked those side characters, and that's fine. Wait, sorry. Never mind. He had his generals because he had his whole army behind him, right?
I think they pop out. I think...
No, because it's
another
Black
character.
Panther, and then he's got his lieutenants, and then behind him you see the Wakandan army marching in.
I could have sworn.
So that's why they did that, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've only seen the movie once, and obviously, you know, opinions change after you watch multiple times.
Yeah. Either way, I felt like that was a weak reveal. If anything, it's a weak reveal because Spider-Man.
Well, those characters were the fan favorites, so... Or the Wakandan dudes.
It's weak to me because I don't like them.
Yeah. I like the idea of them. Warriors with spears.
Yeah, Gungans.
Gungans didn't have spears; they had slings.
Watch when you go watch Black Panther.
Pull up Phantom.
It's like
Phantom Menace.
Obviously, it's not a scene for scene. I was kind of joking about that, but
Yeah.
I swear to God, like they literally like fling their like coattails, kind of like a cape thing, and it just bubble shields. Like they pull it in front of them and it's a bubble shield and I'm like, Gungans. And the ships that Thanos sends in look like the Federation ships.
Yeah.
Like it's Star Wars. But shitty, because there are no Jedi.
Right. So anyway, and then a whole bunch of other factions pop out of the portals. You got the Wakandan army, you have the sorcerers,
everyone
of Doctor Strange's contingent. There's some more, but I can't remember.
They have all the wizards. They have the whole Wakandan army.
Yep.
Actually, you know what? To be honest, if the wizards came out first, that would have been cooler. Because it would have like created a dissonance where it's like, oh my god, are just the wizards helping? Yeah. Did they fail? But
then the portals open and like every faction.
Yeah, and even then it's like, so just have the wizards come out first, and it's like, because then you have that moment of like, wait, did they fail? And then just show the whole Wakandan army, and then have all the heroes jump out. I think that would have been cooler.
Yeah.
So the ones who don't make it obviously are Natasha and Vision. Those are the two big characters.
Vision died in Infinity War.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like with the snap, just to clarify, those two are gone.
Yeah.
So then they have them, and then like a big cool fight scene happens, and it's very well done. The one thing I'll mock,
there's a moment in it that I don't like, but that's after the plot synopsis. I talk about it.
A moment that I'll mock is you have all the superheroes fighting trained soldiers and the superheroes keep up, but they're not trained soldiers.
They're superheroes, though.
I know, but I'm just like jokingly mocking it. But it's like the military tactics, and then you have like Quill.
Well, I mean, do you remember what Drax said in the Guardians movie? I like to think of them as paper people.
No. You remember what Drax said? I've learned how to stay so still I become invisible.
Invisible, yeah.
I just
they
love
didn't
that
give him any
scene.
lines in this movie.
I think they gave him like 2.
Yeah, but he didn't. He only showed up to show that he showed up.
Yeah, pretty much. So then they have like this
because
epic,
Guardians is my favorite team.
They have like this epic fight scene, and then you have Iron Man like blasting people, and he's about to get hit from behind.
And there's Pepper fucking Potts in the coolest suit I've ever seen.
Right, and they actually hint at the suit because
Tony's
daughter is holding a suit. No, she's wearing the helmet.
She's wearing
like,
the helmet, and
playing.
then he's like, "Your mother never wears anything I build her, anyways."
Yeah. So she pops in wearing the suit, and it's awesome. And they literally do like that super cool. Like they're literally just. I think they actually might combine their suits, or they just touch them. But they're literally like back to back, like blasting things in the suits.
They're back to black, so I can only assume back to back. So I can only assume that their suits' computers are talking to each other and coordinating fire.
It's awesome.
And Potts has this like that little assembly on the back of her suit. That's so cool.
Right, it was awesome.
It's got like I'll call them funnels, but Americans won't know what that is.
What I will say is this is something I looked up. I just saw a meme of it. The most disappointing thing about any of the female Iron Mans, because there are 3 of them, none of their names are Iron Maiden.
That's the low-hanging fruit. You can't go for that. Isn't the most recent one in like Ironheart or something? That's a cool name.
Just Iron Maiden would have been awesome. I just saw a joke of it because it had like the lead singer from Iron Maiden, and he was saying.
Yeah. So anyway, Pepper Potts in the rescue suit, probably the greatest female character to jump in here. Just because I want a 20-minute tech demo of that suit. That is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
It was an awesome suit. There's
almost
so
as cool
much.
As the Hulkbuster.
You could probably rewatch this scene 3 or 4 times and still pick out new stuff because it is extremely
There's a lot.
busy.
There's a lot going on, and it's really good. And I honestly don't think we can like talk about it to do justice. So like.
So the fight scene is awesome. You'd have to watch that. Then Thanos, like I actually love this because he has his ships. He's like Warthog him.
And just fire support on my position.
But what about our troops? Did I
don't
stutter?
care. And so the spaceship starts firing down, and obviously they can't compete with the fucking spaceships. So you're like, how are they going to get rid of the spaceship? And then Captain Marvel from the upper atmosphere just dive bombs through the ship because Captain Marvel
she just
is
destroys
stronger than everyone else put together.
Like she just destroys the ships, saving
by flying
everyone.
through it.
And then
and you're like, yeah, Captain Marvel, and it's cool. It's fine. I like Captain Marvel's abilities. They look really cool, and she's cool. But she is. We'll talk about her later. I have some thoughts.
So during this scene, or like in the background of everything, they're looking for the gauntlet. Yep. Because either the gauntlet got blasted off or the gems got knocked off.
They lost it in the initial attack on the base.
Yeah. So they lost the actual gauntlet.
And Clint had it in the sewer, and he's running away.
Yeah, cool. So he was running away, and then they've
just been hot dogging it around the Avengers, and then to the final
hot dogging.
Potato. Hot potato. That's the one.
Anyway, so they're throwing it all around, just trying to get it. It's like
they do this whole
one of them's about to get it, and it's like it's just thrown up in the air, and then Spider-Man like I love Spider-Man. So Spider-Man, he gets completely surrounded, and he's just like suit lethal mode on, and then it's like because it's the Iron Spider, that's what it's called.
So
right?
the spider legs just keep like insta killing dudes
and
around
literally
him.
He gets they pile on him, just dead bodies.
No. It's great because it cuts away after a little bit of that, and then it cuts back, and he's still surrounded by just this
it's just bodies piled up, and like
and Peter's like, I'm fine, I need help.
Yeah, he's like holding up the gauntlet. He's like, I need help. And that's when Captain Marvel swoops in and grabs it.
Yeah,
and
I have a great meme I'll show you after this.
This is the second worst scene of the movie.
Oh yeah, this is my main point of contention, and it's not even that bad of a thing. It's just so they have this moment where Captain Marvel has the gauntlet, and they're like, who's gonna help you, or
yeah,
get
okay,
it all the way over there.
Wait, hold on. The gauntlet needs to be brought to the van that's like on the other side of the battlefield,
right?
So it needs to be brought there.
Right.
Because they were going to send all the stones back. The whole point was they're going to send all the stones back to where they belong. So that's why they need to get to the van that has the
last remaining time machine, because they blew up their big one.
Yeah, Thanos blew it up. So they have it all lined up, and there's like a pause, and it's like, because that was when they were like tossing it back and forth, was everyone was like getting their hands on it to keep moving it forward.
Mm-hmm.
And then with Peter, he's the one who holds it up, and then Captain Marvel gets it.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is like the dumbest wokeness scene there is. Every female character backs up Captain Marvel.
She'll have help. Okay, so I call it the girl power moment. There's nothing wrong with this scene as a scene, except that it doesn't make context in the situation at all. Because like it's a cool moment, but as someone else said, why do it except to do it?
Well, no, here's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know you said context. It actually lessens the impact of Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel just destroyed the ships with literally no problem.
Yeah, that was my thought too. I was like, why does Captain Marvel even need help? Thanos has to fucking huff the Power Stone to take it.
And there, okay, we'll get into that, but like, just Captain Marvel doesn't need any help.
Captain Marvel is stronger than everyone else in this universe put together.
This would have been cooler. If you want to have a girl power moment, what you do is
Captain Marvel bull rushing through the entire fucking army.
No, this doesn't involve Captain Marvel at all.
Okay.
What happens is Thanos starts nuking the playing field, and all the girl characters are like doing everything they can to stop it, and then Captain Marvel comes in and saves them.
Okay. Yeah.
Because then, like, Captain Marvel is the strongest character.
Yeah.
She doesn't need the help of the girls. She doesn't need the help of the guys. She literally needs to just put it in it. That's it.
Yeah.
So the fact that all the girls stand up, like, almost discredits her power. So that's why I think that have the girls scene, fine, but have it earlier, not involving Captain Marvel, because she's already infinitely stronger than everyone else here.
It also doesn't make sense in the scene because, like, so here's what it is from my perspective, right? Like, how is it that only the female characters responded to this? Because the battlefield is chaotic, so I can see like a mix of people showing up. So I can see like if Pepper Potts just flew over there and was like, she'll have backup, and then the one Wakandan girl was there too. But like, how does every girl character know to go to this point right then?
Yeah. Because it was
my other thing that isn't a problem. Why is Pepper Potts not glued to Tony's ass?
She trusts him. I'll give it that.
Yes, but also warrior couple.
No, I would love to see him like doing the tag team, but I also get that she trusts him enough.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't make sense to me. Why?
Yeah, I see both sides. Because she trusts Tony, but more backup.
Yeah, you're in a battlefield.
But you could also argue that the suit is the strongest thing, so you'd want it in two different locations.
Yeah, I mean, tactically it makes sense. They just never addressed it at all, and I just wonder about it. But it's not a bad thing. It's not at all.
But that girl power scene, like they should have done it differently. I have no problem with girl power, but all they do is discredit Captain Marvel.
Hey, while we're talking about Captain Marvel, so something I have crafted this thought carefully, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this movie, Captain Marvel is not a character; she's a tool.
Kinda.
Because her only purpose is to tell us things or save us from things. Because if you think about it, here's what she does in the movie, right? Saves Tony Stark so that we can have Tony back on Earth. Gives us that connection to there's things happening everywhere else to give her an excuse not to be there, and then she shows up and saves everyone because she's the Superman of this universe.
Yeah.
So she's not really a character; she's a tool. But then I found out something interesting. The actress Brie Larson, she shot the scenes for Endgame before Captain Marvel.
You know, that makes
she
sense.
hadn't had any time as Captain Marvel before going into Endgame. So that's why that explains it to me. So my opinion has kind of changed. I think she did good with the very little she had because I also heard she was only given her lines. So I think she did good with what she had, considering she'd never played the character before.
I also don't. This is super minor. It's just personal stuff. I don't like that they cut her hair short.
I like the look.
Well,
personally.
no. So this is why I literally just watched a movie with her with long hair for the entirety of it.
But it's 5 years later, buddy, and they had it. They had it long in the beginning of.
I don't like anyone's haircut in the movie.
What do you mean? You don't like RDJ's haircut?
No. The changes.
You don't like Captain's haircut?
I don't like long-haired Thor. I just personally.
Oh no, he
I
looks
don't
bad.
Like
That's he intentionally looks bad.
But
he looks a lot better when they braid his beard, which apparently Mjolnir can do.
But it perfect. This is literally just personal gripe. I don't like that they kept changing Natasha's hair. This is for like all the movies because she was a redhead, then blonde, and then she red again. I don't know.
It kind of reflects her character, but at the same time, not
but
really.
Personally, I don't like that. I hate Hawkeye's hair color change.
He doesn't hair color. You mean his haircut?
Yeah, his. Wait,
well,
hold on.
Makes sense because he's no longer Hawkeye at that point. He's Ronin.
I just realized the picture I used doesn't have Hawkeye on it.
Photoshop him in there.
Yeah, it literally doesn't have Hawkeye on it. I just noticed that.
Oh, supposedly Hawkeye's getting a TV show, and it's about damn time.
It's called The Green Arrow. Yeah, so, I don't like the haircuts. Whatever, though. That's just personal preference.
Yeah. I think he looks cool for Ronin.
I don't like how he has, like... I hate it when people, like, shave the sides of their head, though.
I normally do. I thought it fit for this movie.
But, yeah, I don't know. I like longer hair, so when the hair gets cut short, I'm always a little bummed out on women, and I like guys with shorter hair. She
looked fucking great in that haircut, in my opinion.
She does look good. I thought her other haircut looked better.
Okay.
She didn't look bad. To be honest, it's probably more accurate to her actual character.
Yeah.
Because I think in the comics, she starts with short hair. No, starts with long hair and then goes to short. Anyway, so they have, like, awesome scene of fighting and stuff, and Thanos gets the gauntlet, and then Captain America fights him while he's wearing the gauntlet.
Except Captain America doesn't just fight him.
Nope. Captain Marvel fights him.
Oh,
and she toe to toes.
Yeah, she goes toe to toe and basically beats him down, and then he huffs the Power Stone and punches her, and I thought that was amazing.
It's like he's like, I'm gonna snap my finger, and then she's like, she grabs both his fingers, and it's like,
The hell you won't, and then.
And that was another scene where it's like she's that strong, yet they also did the female power thing.
It's that it worked in that scene.
No. I'm talking about all the other the girls all lining up thing.
Yeah,
because I loved it when Captain Marvel did that.
Yeah,
Like, she's awesome. She's a very strong character. She 100% should do that. I'm
right,
talking about, like, it discredits her even more that she needed all the backup.
right.
It's like, wait, she just literally not even Thor stood toe to toe with him.
Yeah, no, it fucking. And
What?
she goes toe to toe with Thanos, and he has to huff the Power Stone and punch her with it, which is incredible, by the way.
And then the scene that we were like all waiting for, if you paid attention in
Age of Ultron,
was it Age of Ultron? I actually did see that scene.
where he almost lifted the hammer.
He moves the hammer. Even if he doesn't lift it, he actually makes it move slightly.
Yeah, and Thor's face is fucking great
He's like, ooh, and he's like, okay.
because he goes from like smiling to
So Captain America can summon the hammer, and
because
because
Captain America is worthy of Mjolnir.
literally all of them are, if you think about it, but because
Well, America specifically.
so he summons the hammer, and then he summons Stormbreaker as well. And then there's a scene where like they're fighting and they like Thor and Captain America are fighting and they're like tossing it back and forth, the two weapons, and then it stops and Captain America has Stormbreaker and Thor has Mjolnir, and Thor just looks at him and he like swooshes the or he calls he calls Stormbreaker to his hand from Captain America's, tosses him Mjolnir, and he's like, you get the small one. Yeah.
Which I think is cool because it signifies that Thor has moved on from Mjolnir.
Yeah.
Because before he didn't have a choice because Mjolnir was destroyed, but now given the choice, he's showing that he's moved on to Stormbreaker. So he's like changed his identity.
That was awesome. So to kind of speed up a lot of it, there's just a lot of awesome fighting.
Yeah.
And after like the majority of the fighting, Thanos does have the gauntlet on, and Tony, like I don't know, maybe like the anime, like they grab hands type of thing where they're like
Tony pulls a sneaky on him,
and Tony gets blasted back, and Thanos snaps his fingers, but nothing happens.
The stones aren't in the gauntlet. Where are the stones?
Because of
Tony's got them.
They've kept this consistent for so long that it's like pseudo-intelligent material, so it actually could go up his gauntlet and take them. Nano machine thing.
I'm sure I'll be looking more closely if I watch or when I see it again, but I did not get a good idea of how that happened. I just knew it did.
Well, no, but you know that the like Tony's armor has always has the ability to move and change and stuff.
Well, ever since especially now in this movie they have the nano armor.
Yeah.
But that started in probably one of the more recent movies.
But it was established before this movie.
Yeah.
So it's very well known because even in Infinity War he has that nano armor.
Yeah.
And I think it was, I don't know, whatever. So he has nano armor, and like you can just think about it. It makes sense that he could take it out,
right? As
opposed to if he had his old armor, no, he wouldn't have gotten it.
Yeah.
So he gets it, and Doctor Strange looks at him, and he holds up one finger. There was one out of like
14 million.
Yeah, 14 million chance. So Tony snaps his fingers.
So
and destroys half the universe. No,
well, another point about this is that Tony's armor made a gauntlet on the fly, and I think that was pre-programmed and not just something that he did out of his ass.
Well, his armor can change constantly anyway.
Well, yeah, but it still has to operate within certain parameters. So I think that Tony had included this in his possible plan scenario things, right?
Yeah.
Like he'd planned for this maybe happening, so...
And it could have even just been, if the gauntlet was destroyed, he could rip off his own arm on it, and it would be ready to be a gauntlet.
Yeah, yeah.
Either way, it was an awesome scene, and, to be honest, you knew it was going to happen, unfortunately, but Tony dies. because he
Yeah.
snapped. Like Hulk was like badly damaged type of
Hulk
thing.
was crippled.
Like he couldn't use his arm at all at the very
Yeah.
least, but it drained like all his energy.
Mhm.
So they did like that crippling thing, and you knew that when Tony did it. To be honest, there was a scene earlier where Doctor Strange said, "I can't tell you," or something. Like he couldn't tell him.
I can't tell you the future, or you won't do it.
Yeah, it was something,
So,
or it won't
and
happen.
then when he holds up his finger, Tony like understands what has to happen.
I think it was I can't tell you or it won't happen. Not you won't do it, because then it's obvious what it is. Even more obvious, but because the whole time Tony, not that he didn't care, but he already had his prize. So
Yeah.
he had to give that up.
Mhm.
And I believe there was I could be fabricating this, but I think there was a really touching scene where it's almost the reverse of Infinity War with Peter and Tony.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, it's like obviously the mass amount of energy. It kind of like shows cracks or burns.
I don't remember who was there first at his side, but then the Peter Parker rolls up, and that is a great scene. But at the same time, the whole time I was like, "Where's Pepper?"
No, Pepper does show up.
She does at the end, but I just at that point I was like, "Where's Pepper?" But
to
then
be
she does
honest,
show up.
I
Have a
think
good
Pepper already knew.
I do too.
So
Or,
Pepper.
Sorry, I don't think she knew. I think she had planned for it. Not planned, but
She was
prepared
for him to be gone.
Yeah.
That's what I meant by she knew.
Yeah.
Because she knew that it was very likely this would be his last battle.
Right.
So they have a touching scene there, and then there are a couple other scenes. We'll kind of speed up this because this is emotional stuff. You have to watch it. We can't really explain it.
Mhm.
They're very touched that Tony gave his life for it, and then there's like a remembrance that Vision and Natasha are both gone forever. It's Scarlet Witch and Hawkeye. They both say that because they lost.
They're standing side by side, and it's because they both lost like a.
They'll,
I don't want to call Nat Hawkeye's other half, but that was kind of their relationship
as heroes, other half.
Yeah.
Even just best friends, you know, it's still.
Yeah.
And then they still need to take the gems or Infinity Stones back, and Captain America does it.
Right.
He takes Mjolnir with him, if I remember correctly.
Yes, he does, because that has to go back too.
So they have him go back in time, and then they're like, he should be back in 5 seconds, and he's not. Because, I mean, they time travel. That's how time travel would work. You'd appear back immediately, no matter how long you've been gone.
Yep.
Well, within reason. That's why it's 5 seconds. And he's not back, and then he's sitting on a bench as an old man.
Because he
decided to live his life instead.
He decided to live his life with Peggy.
Which was sweet. And then he gives
the shield to
what's his face?
I
don't know what his name
Falcon is his hero name, but I don't remember what his name is. Sam?
Yeah, it's Sam, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't even remember his moniker as Falcon. Personally, I think I would have rather seen it go to Bucky, but that's just
it can't go to Bucky. There was a reason for that I can't remember right now, but it couldn't go to Bucky.
Oh, did they actually? It must have been in Winter Soldier that they explained that.
Well, no, it wasn't in Winter Soldier. It was someone I heard said something that made a lot of sense, and I can't remember what it is now. But it made sense to me that it couldn't go to Bucky.
Oh, I mean, that just personally, I like not knowing the characters, and Falcon was like the least seen character for me. Him being the new Captain America, I was like, eh.
Well, he's been there the whole time in one form or another because he's the on your left guy.
Well, yeah, but he also, I think it was either,
And even through the Civil War stuff, he's always had Cap's back. So he's been there the whole time.
Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. Just
Yeah.
because I don't know his character. Because I didn't
Right.
watch the movies where he was the star, or even a
Right.
star, because it's gotta be, I think, did he come about in Winter Soldier?
I think he got the Falcon thing in Winter Soldier, but I honestly couldn't tell you.
I
He was a character in the first Captain America, I think.
Well, there you go. I didn't see either of those.
I feel like I remember him being in the VA and sorry, no, in the second Captain America because the first one takes place entirely in 1945.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know his character, so, but
Right.
I mean, whatever. That's just because I don't know his character that I don't think he deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
But and I've seen more of Bucky because Civil War. But besides that,
they never really gave Bucky his own identity yet.
Well, no, just you have to admit in Civil War there's a lot more Bucky than there is.
Because Bucky is the point of the plot, but you know who's standing by Cap's right hand through every second of that? Falcon.
I don't remember him though. He's a little too much of a side character.
Yeah.
So that's just personally. So that and then the post-credit scene, I didn't actually stay and watch it.
There isn't one.
There is.
There is not.
I'm sorry, the post-credit noise.
What?
If I remember correctly, there is a post-credit scene, and it's a hammer. This I'm not entirely sure about, because I went to see what?
There isn't one.
I don't know. Well, maybe it's not a scene, but literally there's like a hammer at the end of the credits. So if there is, I'll put it that way, because I'll be honest, I didn't see it. Or it was like machinery or something, so it kind of like hinted at there being a new Iron Man.
No.
Well, the hammer. Anyway, whatever it is, it didn't seem very impressive, if it is what I'm thinking. I will fully admit, I don't know.
There is no post-credit scene, so I honestly don't know what you're talking about.
My friend said he saw it online.
Well, he's a fucking liar.
Well, we also saw it on day one, so it was probably not he's a liar, it was, someone lied about it. Because I believe that he saw it, but you could easily fabricate those things on day one. Because then there's no one who's going to double check you. But yeah, that was Avengers.
Overall, I really liked it. I
I
had a really good time.
didn't think it was as insane as some people brought it up to be.
Well, okay. Well, for a lot of people, and myself kind of included, this is the culmination of like 11 years of your life, right? So I like superhero movies, but I have a very calm attitude towards these things. So I went in with a positive mindset, and I got what I wanted. I really enjoyed it. And there were some times where I was a little moist, but I never like cried like some people have. But you know, people get excited about stuff they like. So for a lot of people, this was the event of the fucking
This
century.
does say there's an audio stinger waiting for you at the end of the credits.
Okay. Well, an audio
Literally,
stinger, but-
literally, it would be just a hammer noise.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. That's why I was saying it's either there's a new Iron Man or something else. There was no actual scene. Like, that's why I said it may have been going during the credits.
Yeah, there was no teaser.
Yeah, because it says this I just looked it up on GameStop quickly. It marks the 22nd movie. Apparently the Spider-Man one is the actual end of it. However, there are two things many diehard fans want to see. Most importantly, there is an audio stinger at the very end of the credits where the Marvel logo appears. The metal hitting metal sound is open to interpretation.
Okay.
So this says it could be the sound of Tony making his first Iron Man thing. You know, just to like, if it's even
Just to
that,
bring us
that's like,
closer.
this is the end of Tony's story.
Yeah, it began with Tony and it ends with Tony, which also, holy shit, right? It begins with Tony and ends with Tony.
Right. So that was it was a very good movie. I accidentally saw it on opening day. Because I thought it came out earlier. Like, I'm literally standing in the theater. I'm like, wow, there are a lot of people. It's been out for like 3 days. And then my friend's like, no, this is day 1. I'm like, no, it's not. I saw on Twitter people watching it because they watched the midnight. No, on Facebook, people I know in person had seen it because they watched the midnight.
Yeah.
And then, like, I walked over to the fucking sign. I'm like, 26th. What's today? 26. Huh.
I saw it like a week later and in the middle of the day, and my theater was like empty, which was like crazy to me.
Oh, this is also cool. Side note, I'm not going to have the numbers correct, but as of now, Endgame is the second
Highest grossing movie.
highest
of all time.
grossing in 2 or 3 weekends versus Avatar's 7.
Yeah, so well, it's the second highest grossing movie of all time, and it's predicted to knock Avatar off the thing. So I think I'm gonna go see it again just to try and knock Avatar down.
At least it's not the Avatar.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very good movie. Seeing it in theaters is probably one of the ideal ways to watch it. But obviously,
if you appreciate the theater experience, then it's a good way to do it.
It can ruin it though. Someone I know had it ruined that way because he probably went to one of the earlier showings, and I went to, like, the show started at 9:30.
Yeah.
But he went to see it. I think he probably went during the day. And there were a lot of kids in it.
Yeah.
And that can happen, like, with literally any movie. Theater experience enhances it, either for the good or the bad.
Right.
Because there was a point when it's like, I think right after the portals are summoned, Captain America's like, Avengers, then there's a pause. And then he says, assemble. And for that person, like, all the kids, like, screamed assemble before it happened. Because it was a pause for dramatic effect, and he apparently, like, screamed that, and it was like... I also had to sit in the front row.
Yeah.
Because every other seat was taken. It was literally packed.
Yeah.
So that sucked just because.
Yeah.
Front row. Otherwise, excellent movie. I kind of wanted this to be the end.
Of Marvel?
Yes, for now.
Well, it's the end of the Marvel we know because okay, so I've got a list here. I compiled a list of the fates of the original Avengers cast. Tony is dead, Nat's dead, Hulk is crippled, Captain is retired, if not soon dead.
I don't actually
Hawkeye,
I don't think the Hulk is truly crippled.
He
had a
looks pretty
sling
crippled.
on because his arm was damaged, but he could heal.
Yeah, but, well, point being, I don't think he's going to be a major player anymore.
Yeah.
Same with Hawkeye, although he is getting that TV show, but I don't know if that's going to be him or Ronan.
I would rather see that be a past thing instead of a future thing. Even if it
well,
follows
if
Ronan.
he goes back to being Hawkeye, I guess it would be fine, but...
I still don't want to see it.
Yeah.
It would be much better to do a past or a Ronan thing.
My assumption is that Hawkeye is probably retired from being a major player in the movies. I could see him making a cameo as like a mentor type character, and same with Hulk. But they're done. Thor is a wild card. I don't know what's going to happen with Thor.
He's in the new... Thor left at the end of the movie to go hang out with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Also, what happens to Gamora?
What do you mean?
What happens to past Gamora?
She joins up with the Guardians, and
She's not in the
Peter.
end scene.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, she's not in the end scene with it.
Well, I would assume. Man, it really fucking sucks for Peter. Can you imagine?
Seeing her again and having her disappeared again.
Well, like, just the thing of events is Thanos kills her in front of you, and then fucking there's another one, huh?
No, he doesn't.
Oh right, okay. Well, Thanos kills her. Thanos kills her, and you lose her, and then she's there again, and you lose her all over again because it's not the one you knew, and she doesn't know you.
Yeah, so I don't know if the snap was delete everyone. Because it deletes Thanos' entire army, but she's not part of Thanos' army anymore? They don't explain that. And then at the end scene, literally, she's not there.
Yeah.
So
who knows? Maybe, I don't know. I assume that's something will get answered in Guardians 3. Which, is that part of this phase?
No.
No?
Well, I literally, the thing I Googled said that the Spider-Man movie's the end of this phase.
I mean, hey, if Guardians is like the main thing of the next phase, I'm not against that.
I just want to see him.
I don't think they should have too many more movies.
I want to see him at least slow down.
Yeah, they should. I think they should have Volume 3, and then they can be in crossovers. But I don't think they should get their own movie beyond that. Right?
Well, no, I mean, stop making Marvel movies as much. One a year.
Yeah. We should do another thing where we have like one a year of the slow build up, and then when it starts getting crazy again, we get the flood of them like we have the last few years.
Because it is actually difficult to keep up with these movies.
Yeah.
Obviously, you could argue if it's the only movie you want to watch, it's not difficult at all. But there are other movies out there. There are other TV shows.
I want to see more Marvel TV shows, to be honest.
I want to see more animated stuff. Because
they've never been good at it.
The DC has always been good.
Yeah, no, but Marvel hasn't, is what I'm saying.
No, the X-Men one was good.
Yeah, X-Men is bad.
Wait!
I think X-Men X is bad.
That was when... No, the TV show was good. That was back when it was owned by Fox.
The same people who made those garbage movies?
Yeah, because Fox can't make a live-action movie to save their life, but they can absolutely make an animated movie.
Can they?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was legitimately good.
Okay.
I mean, maybe it had a little bit of the 90s problem, but other than that, it's good.
Yeah.
Just like the Spider-Man TV show was good. Yeah,
right.
So that is the Avengers. I'm interested to see the Spider-Man movie. Oh, okay, hold on. I want to bring this up. I want them to tone things back.
Back down, like, the power scale?
Yes.
Yeah, well, yeah, bring it back down to Earth now that we've dealt with
that. That may have been one of the
threat.
best things about Homecoming.
Is that Peter went from fighting, like, existential space threats to, like, just a dude?
No. The movie of Homecoming was a small threat.
Right.
Not even that Peter was the one that it happened to. It's every movie has been huge, grand scale for too long that seeing a small story is better.
Well, that's part of Spider-Man's thing, is he's always been for the little guy.
'Cause I don't know if this is actually true. Maybe it's in a trailer, but apparently the new Spider-Man movie is like all of Paris, like, falls into a sinkhole or something. One, kind of don't want to see it in Paris, but whatever. I like him as an actor, as Spider-Man, so I'm gonna go see it. But
apparently Stan Lee said that before he died, said that Tom Holland was what he envisioned Spider-Man to be. So we finally got it. We got the right one.
Awesome. But it seems like everything has been too grandiose. One of, like, the best scenes, I don't remember his name, the actor right now because I'm blanking, but it's the Sony Spider-Man The original one.
Oh,
I can't remember his name. But it's him and the train scene.
yes.
Like, that was very powerful. To be honest, how many people did he save? Maybe 100?
Mm-hmm.
But that was much better than, in my opinion, it told a better story than, like, the entire universe is going to be destroyed every, like, because everything's huge scale. And that's what I liked about Homecoming, is it was, what, a plane? No, it was nothing. I mean, he was going to get advanced technologies, but a plane crashed. That was it. It was just someone had better technology, not New York is dead.
Yeah.
But I'm interested. They've done a very good job so far. I'm interested to see what they can do in the future.
Good
but
movie.
Please slow down. I want to go see John Wick in theater too.
Oh, John Wick 3.
My dad's like really hyped for it, so I might actually get to go see it in theater.
Hell yeah.
But thank you very much for watching this. This has been an hour and a half.
Can you tell we like the movie?
It is a very good movie, and there are only a couple bad scenes in it.
Yeah.
As we talked about, and that's a lot of that is just in our opinions, like the pacing of it type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, thank you, everyone. Leave your thoughts down below about how disappointed you are that Ant-Man didn't go in Thanos' ass and explode.
That's right. So, like, okay, so just real quick, as the last aside, I've been telling people that actually happens who haven't seen it yet. I've been telling them that actually happens.
See, I've been actually taking it a different level, and I say Ant-Man went inside his ear and blew up his head, because that's more believable.
No, you gotta go gay. You gotta go the gay way. Up the butt.
Why not up the urethra? Thank you, everyone, for watching.